Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, back, and we're doing a best of 3 Crimson Vow draft. Wow, Dreadfeast Demon again. The Feel Bads. There it is. We'll take it. Next best card in here. I like Fellstinger a lot. Dormant Grove is a cool card. There's actually a lot of good cards in here. I like Archghoul, the Infantry, Heron, Scavenger, Celebrant, Sporeback Wolf's playable. These are playable, though less exciting. A lot of goodies in here, but pretty easy, feel bad, Dreadfeast Demon. Okay, follow-up pick. Oh, let's see. So in black we have Recluse, Bat, Specimen. All three are playable. Best cards in the pack are probably the Outcast, Brambleworm, Syncopate I actually like quite a bit, Massive Might, Witness. Those are all fine. I can still take the Bat. I think it's worse than Outcast and Brambleworm. And, you know, I almost want to say just green-black is the best Dreadfeast Demon combo color because it lets you ramp. So I could actually take the Brambleworm here. I'm not opposed. I'm giving up 3 black cards that are playable, but none are terribly exciting. And Brambleworm is very good. I mean, you could take the Outcast too and get rewarded for Wolves and Werewolves, but this just means I want to ramp really badly now. Probably. All right. What is the pick here? Well, I like Innocent Traveler. This easily turns into a win con, but you can never really have enough 2-drops, and Butler can get back. Actually, even feeding the Art with Brambleworm sometimes and not getting it back, but having access to 5 life out of your graveyard's actually kind of good. But if you mill your Dreadfeast Demon or it's dead, Butler can get it back. Butler is quite good. I think Traveler is very good too, but like I say, you can never have enough 2-drops, and Butler is just nice for that reason. It also just works really well with Exploit. It's a great, one of the better. I would put it right below Biolumeg as probably best Exploit fodder. And Traveler, I maybe like more than most, but I feel fine taking the Butler here. Starting it off. 2 7-drops, probably going to need some 2-drops. All right, the pick now. Well, decent choices here. I like Mariner a lot. Great beater. There's Wolf, Sharpshooter, 2 Wolves and a Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter having reach can't really be overlooked. This is a great blocker. Mariner is a good win con too, though. It's 1 more mana, but maybe we just focus on making sure we get enough 2 and 3 drops to survive to our 7 drops, because that can be a challenge in itself. Sharpshooter is a pretty good card. The training is nice. It can occasionally turn into a win con itself with enough time. And it's 3 mana, and the reach, I mean, the reach really makes Sharpshooter. It can stop a lot of the flying decks. Well, we could play Embrace to ramp, but I guess we take Evolving Wilds because it's 100% sure it's going to make the deck. I don't like Laid to Rest. Been unimpressed with it. Maybe some people like it, but LSV seems to like it. But we'll take Evolving Wilds. Guaranteed to make the deck, and pretty good in general. We can take the Sporeback Wolf here. Unfortunately, Sporeback Wolf is more of a, I would say more of a beatdown card, because it's just a 2/4 on your turn, but otherwise I'm taking like a Ceremonial Knife, which is a good card, but I think we just want, let's focus on getting enough cheap creatures for now, so we can survive. I mean, the name of the game is when you have Dreadfeast Demon and Brambleworm, find a way to live until you get 7 mana and then play it and win. Love Lumberknot. Fantastic card. One of the main reasons to be, and it's actually very good with Wolf too. Finally, get a bigger reward for playing Wolf, and it's great with Sharpshooter. We already have a great deck for it, just based on our cheap creatures. And another Sharpshooter or a Gluttonous Guest would be fine too. They both would continue to work well with Lumberknot, but Lumberknot is one of the main reasons to be green-black. Great card, great pickup. All right. I like Massive Might, and considering we have 0 pieces of removal, we might want to take it. Bloodsworn Squire really hasn't impressed me. Grizzly Ritual is kind of expensive. Massive Might giving Trample is a pretty big deal. And just being so cheap. Witch's Web is playable in a pinch too if you can't get the removal. Honored Heirloom would let us ramp, but I guess I'm hoping to find other ways to ramp. So we can take the Archghoul here. It's a totally playable card, and we already have the Butler zombie. We could find some more. We're in black. Archghoul is a playable card. Nothing in here for us. Could take a Bloody Betrayal if we end up with a bunch of Exploit in black. I don't think it's going to happen. Unhallowed Phalanx. I guess we take it over. I could take the Millipede too, but do I need Millipede? Probably not. I guess we'll take a Phalanx in case we get like Catapult Captain or whatever. I mean, it works with Lumberknot, but the fact that it enters tapped just really is a huge turnoff for me. Snarling Wolf, on the other hand, is a totally playable card. I like it. This card does work. I'm going to take the Laid to Rest, but not play it. Just to cut green. All right. Pretty successful pack one. Wow. Well, here, geez, Olivia's Attendant's so good. Well, we're not going to splash it, so take the Hero's Downfall over Wolf Strike and all that nonsense. Hero's Downfall, I haven't played with it in a long time. Great card. Used to be a rare. Uncommon in this set. Easy pickup. What are we hoping to wheel? I mean, Gargantua would be fine. Scorpion's fine in here, actually. Typically, Scorpion's not that good, but based on what we have in this deck already, yeah, I'll take the Death Toucher to buy some time. So, Retrieve, currently in this deck, I think can just get creatures back, so it's a little too clunky. Could take the Witch's Web. We don't have any blood tokens for Ragged Recluse, or we could take Aim for the Head for sideboard. Considering we just have a Massive Might and a Hero's Downfall as our removal, gosh, it seems way too early. I think we can wheel a Witch's Web and the Aim for the Head, but I guess we'll take a Recluse. It's really not that good here. It's Piker in this deck, but like I said, I think we're pretty easily going to wheel an Aim for the Head or Witch's Web. And who knows, maybe we find blood tokens somewhere along the way. So nothing in green. In black, we just have Vampire's Kiss. I guess we'll take a Shattered Sanctum in case there's like, I mean, we have an Evolving Wild, so if we end up with some white bomb, feel bad rare, we can get some value out of it. All right, Gluttonous Guest is a good card. Good blocker. Gives us the blood token access for Ragged Recluse. Gains us some life. Good with Lumberknot. A lot of good reasons to play Gluttonous Guest here. Good white cards in here. Fleeting Spirit, Griff Rider, even Shul Basher's pretty playable. But yeah, take the guest. Be our guest. Okay, choices here. Don't need the Evolving Wilds here. I think it's Socialite or Sport Crawler. So Socialite gives us more value for Recluse. Sport Crawler just is cheaper though. Blocks well, attacks well. I think we probably want the Sport Crawler. Usually trades and gets card draw value out of it. It just feels like a good solid 3-drop. Socialite is a good 4-drop too. But if I don't end up playing Recluse, I'm okay with that too. All right, Desperate Farmer is a good card. Could take the Massive Might here, but I want the Lifelink. Lifelink is important for buying time, and the Farmer's just been pretty good so far in this format. Once again, we are very light on interaction though, which makes Massive Might a little more appealing, but can't help myself with that Desperate Farmer. It's a good card. So Persistent Specimen would be good if we had a lot of Exploit, Synergy, or Blood tokens. Either way, it's kind of good, but I guess we take Wedding Security. Unfortunately, Wedding Security suffers the same problem as Specimen. Kind of need something to go off with it. Don't need any of this. I guess we'll take the green card. All the Laid to Rest, huh? Well, we could take Gargantua. We do have some sack fodder, not much. Could take the Witch's Web. Honored Heirloom lets us ramp. I feel like I'd rather play the Gargantua over the Web just because you get a body out of it too. Whereas Witch's Web, like, well, we got the Witch's Web anyway, so I'll take it now. But yeah, I kind of like that Gargantua is like a win con that can sometimes get really good value out of killing one of your opponent's creatures occasionally. I'll take the black card though. I don't really want to play it. It does work with Recluse, but it's not something I want to play here. Well, white certainly seems open. Blood Servitor, I'll consider. I typically don't play this card, but I guess it does make Recluse a little more playable. Hamlet Vanguard. I don't think we don't have the human count, and that's a tough one to make work anyway. I'm okay taking another Lumberknot here. It's a great card. I mean, it's very powerful. There's a Wolf Strike in here, which our deck would definitely want to, since we still need some more interaction. But Lumberknot is, I think, too strong to pass. It's just a great card. Especially if we can wield this Gluttonous Guest, then you curve outright with Ancient Lumberknot, and you definitely win. Also happens to just be like a 4-mana 4/4, which a lot of the time is also just very good. Well, I don't love Graph Reaver here because it deals 1 damage to you. I mean, yeah, I can blow up Planeswalkers occasionally. I don't really care, but we don't really need, like, Doom Dissenter so much either. I guess I can take a Graph Reaver. Feels like a bit of a liability, but there's just nothing in here I want otherwise. And the only sack fodder we have for Dissenter is what, Gargantua? Or, I guess, Dreadfeast Demon. That's true. But 2 mana 3/3, I'll give it a try. I mean, it can attack pretty well. Spore Crawler here or Outcast. We don't have the Wolves and Werewolves to support Outcast, even though it's a great card. So I'd rather just have a Spore Crawler, which is a great card too. Pack Song Pup. Well, same problem as before. Here we'll slam. Sporeback Wolves never looked better than this deck with 2 Lumberknots. This just suddenly comes as a 2-mana 4/4 beater. Somehow we're like a beatdown deck that has Dreadfeast Demon and Brambleworm in it. Yeah, same argument. Could take the Sharpshooter. Man, there's Scavenger too. But with 2 Lumberknots, I'm pretty tempted to just take all these Sporeback Wolves and never look back. Even over Sharpshooter because it's cheaper. Just gets you going on turn 2. And I think with 2 Lumberknots, it's going to be a big payoff. Scavenger and Sharpshooter are both fantastic too, but... All right, I'll take the Sharpshooter now. There's point of discussion in here too, but I want all these 4 toughness dudes. All right, Mariner is a good beater. I'll take it. So, probably off the Recluse plan, and we don't need the Blood Servitor. Still basically have almost no interaction in here. We have a Massive Might, a Witch's Web, a Hero's Downfall, and that's like it. It's pretty light. Cloaked Cadet is going to be good with the Lumberknots. Or I could take Blood Fountain. Or Doom Dissenter. Or Recruit even, but drawing cards is good, as it turns out. So, alright. A Gluttonous Guest or Desperate Farmer. Probably the Guest. With 2 Lumberknots. Probably wiser. Plus you get the Blood token so you can find your goodies easier. Or we could take the Witch's Web because we have basically all creatures, no interaction. But no, I think Gluttonous Guest is going to be good here. I don't need the Phalanx, even with the Lumberknots. It's just not good enough. They enter tapped for some strange reason. Just going to take the uncommon. Could take Nature's Embrace to ramp. I'm hoping we don't need to, though. Probably don't need the Wedding Security. Although I could. Spiked Ripsaw is a fine card. Since we're all creatures, I'm kind of okay with it. I don't think we have enough humans to make Disciple work. Probably not. Graph Reaver. I mean, the thing about Graph Reaver is I don't think it's a very good card, but we do look like we can beat down pretty effectively here, which makes it slightly more appealing. And we don't, I mean, we just cut the weakest 2 creatures, and I guess we call it a deck. What are the weakest 2 creatures in the deck? It's probably... What's our zombie count? It's only 3, right? 4? Oh, we have 4 zombies? Gargantua 2, huh? Might make Archghoul a little more appealing, just as like... Because you get to, when it dies, possibly put a land in your graveyard. It makes your card quality better, which is actually a nice upside. Could cut the Graph Reaver. But then that kind of takes away from our Archghoul synergy. Huh. Yeah. I mean, Cloak Cadet is just good because it draws cards from it training. Even though, yeah, we have the Sharpshooters too. But even if we didn't, just drawing cards from itself and it's good with Lumberknot makes it a good pick. It could be the Reaver. Just because it's a bit of a liability, taking 1 damage each turn. But, I mean, it's a 2-mana 3/3, so it always kind of attacks pretty well. I just feel like it's probably a cut. It's probably the weakest creature in our deck, probably. What's the next cut? I don't know. I don't want to cut the Ripsaw because we just have like an all-creature deck, so... All these 1/4s are just too good with Lumberknot. Same argument. The fact that we have 2 just makes all of these so much better. I could cut the Archghoul. I like the card. I just... 3-drop slot feels like where we should cut. And I think I'd rather just have a thing that draws me a card rather than makes my card quality better for some of the very few creatures in my deck. So this is the deck. It's only okay, unfortunately. We're like all creature, no interaction. I could have gotten some more Witch's Webs and stuff, but we end up with just 1 Might, 1 Web, and 1 Hero's Downfall. So 3 actual ways to interact with combat situations, which is not very good. But we do have good blockers. We have good attackers. We have a good plan outside of Dreadfeast Demon, Brambleworm, and just Lumberknots with huge toughness creatures that are efficiently costed. So that's good. Could do the Graph Reaver instead of the Wolf, but I don't know if that's actually better. The exploit is mostly irrelevant. Not having to pay to make it a 3/3 is nice, but not having to take a damage each turn is also very nice. So I think we'll leave it like this. I'm okay with it. Overall, I mean, you have Dreadfeast Demon, you should be pretty happy. I wish we'd gotten some more interaction, but I mean, there's some good things going on for this deck, so yeah, we'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1. All right. Play first. Definitely a keep. Both colors obviously need some lands, but we're looking pretty good with 2 lands here. Just Butler into Guest into Lumberknot is pretty good beats. So I'm hoping Butler doesn't mill 3 lands, because we're going to need all the lands we can get for this demon. We just want to mill. All right, that'll do. I'll take it. 2 lands. It's more than I wanted, but we'll take it. It's all right. No big deal. Play the Guest here. I guess I can attack. I'm okay trading here. Sure. So, Spore Crawler's best use of mana. Although we could dump a wolf. think that actually makes more sense because we want to hit our lands. Alright, hit the land, which is good. Now we can do the Sport Crawler. And we can actually double block here. Sure. Do the lumber knot. And I guess we'll attack for 2. Alright, so we got the 5th land. Let's see. They could double block the lumber knot, but I say we play it chill. We go Sport Crawler, Sporeback, Wolf, pass. I guess we don't have to pass. We can attack with the Butler. It's a fine trade. They get a blood token, but we get a creature back. I mean, I guess lumber knot in case they deal with our other one. That's a good one. Double block it. Just to prevent the trample. Because they'd get another blood token there. Alright. Spiked Ripsaw, huh? Well. Do lumber knot. In for 7. That's good. I could have played an equipped Ripsaw, but I like this more. I think if they have a counterspell, I'd rather do Downfall on their turn. If they do it again, if they sack another one, I'm going to blow up Geist here. Alright. To me, it's worth it now. Alright. So we're playing against aggro. Geist is going to be a problem. A lot of card draw. Pretty good looking deck, actually. Is there anything I specifically don't like against them? Spiked Ripsaw, probably not what I want here. It's a little slow, and we need to just buy time. So what is the best way to buy time against our opponent's deck? Well, better blockers, better attackers. We just don't have many. Can do Recluse, because occasionally with Guess, it can turn into a 3/3 that gains us life. Could do Disciple, but that's more of an aggressive thing too. Could do Graph Reaver, but the 1 life can be a liability. It does block Blood Petal Celebrant quite well, but you're still getting punished each turn. I can do Recluse. It's just more early play that potentially gets bigger and turns into a better creature. I guess we can do that. Seven drops, usually not the best against aggro, but we have a good amount of early game too. It's a good hand. So I think if they attack into this, I'm wondering if it's wiser to just wait a turn. Oh, geez. All right. Well, I guess we're taking 8. Yeah, Puppeteer is a pretty filthy card. So we'll play the Farmer. Leave up Massive Might. Sure hope it does something for us here. All right, well, I guess good news is Farmer flips. So I guess we can burn this first. Do I want to attack with the Harvester? Well, I think we have to hope they don't have any interaction. Because I don't think we can, based on our hand having nothing else, I don't know if we can afford to 2-for-1 ourselves, blocking a creepy Puppeteer here. So I think I'm actually going to stay back so I can double block the Puppeteer. If they have interaction, they get it, but I think if they had interaction, they get us anyway, even if I do attack with Harvester there. That's a good draw. Guess we can sandbag that. We could have just taken it there and probably killed us on the backswing, but... I mean, they just handily defeated us here. Guess I could rip I have to block here or I die. I guess I could rip a Thinger that gains me 5 life. Lumberknot's cool, it's just not good enough. It's too little too late. Can attack for 12. Doesn't do it. We'll go to the next game here. I mean, I could have like acted like I have something, but I'm trying to save a few seconds of my life at the moment. Anything different? No, I mean, honestly, I feel like our deck is what it is, and if they have the interaction they have for their early creatures, they're going to get us. We have plenty of early creatures too, so if we draw them, we can probably buy enough time. If we can't, then that's that. There's no big mysteries to our deck. It just has to survive, and I think it can win. I think we'll do the farmer here. Problem with the farmer is they can kill it with like a Flame Blessed Bolt or whatever, but it's alright. Well, I wasn't expecting the trade there. Ah, I guess that makes more sense. Well, at least I can't block. I guess that's good. Oh, Sharpshooter is a good one. So I'm trying to think if I want to ditch something, but I kind of like all these cards. So I think we'll just play the Sharpshooter and pass for now. They can make it so the Sharpshooter can't block this turn. So they do have counter magic up, but Just gonna have to allow it. They can syncopate or whatever. Siphon essence, that's fine. Well, they're winning this pretty handily right now. Gonna take 9 here. Not having any interaction is really hurting us. So Gargantua is probably what we want here, sacking the guest. That way they have to lose their Lancer. I guess they could just sack their Statuette, couldn't they? Could also play the Cloaked Cadet. But I think we play the Gargantua and we sack the guest. They can lose their Statuette. I'm okay with that too. I want to gain life from the guest, but I need them to lose a creature here, I think. Like I said, they can activate the Statuette. It's not the end of the world necessarily. At least it gives them one less attacker. It also gives them one less blood token synergy attack, but they did that. That's all right. I hate that we're getting got by Blood Hypnotist. Because our deck is like all creatures, so I just hate that we're so slow right now. I think they have lethal too, don't they? 4, 7, 10, 13. Just heartbreaking. All right, we'll see for round 2. All right, round 2, we'll keep it. It's a good one. So I can ditch something with the Gluttonous Guest if I want. Not sure if I want to. Like, all the cards in my hand currently are useful, so I guess we're not in a rush to use Guest. Child of the Pack's a good one. Probably want to Hero's Downfall that. So, best use of mana right now is probably the Mariner. But, they can just... They can make a creature with Child and flip it. I think I'll play the Mariner first. Set up for the Downfall. Well, the good news about this is that when the Mariner flips, it can get by the Scorpion. So that is actually good. Oh, they're going to Wolf Strike? Never mind. That's not good. So we'll let the Death Toucher hit us. They're not making anything with Child of the Pack, though, so... Not exactly sure what that tells me. It is strange. Guess we could do Butler first. I feel as if it means they have, like, Wolf Strike here, but... I wonder if I just let it flip because I'm going to Hero's Downfall anyway. That could actually make sense. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're at 12 right now. I have the feeling they're going to get the Uprising value, but I'm just going to allow it. I'm going to pass here. So they can flip their Child of the Pack. We're going to Downfall the Packmate, so it's probably okay, hopefully. And then at least the Raider can get by their dudes. So they have 12 right now. 13's the magic number on this. All right, so they had the removal anyway. I'm going to Witch's Web that. Which is a pretty good counter spell for their thing. We are going to play 2 spells, which means Duder Magruder's going to flip back, but that's okay. All right. Well, they had the removal spells they needed. Dudes were going to flip back anyway, so it's okay. Three, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So they're going to be able to do their thing. I wish it wasn't the case, but... Well, I guess maybe they won't now. It's true, because we took out some permanents there. All right. Well, kind of wish Cloaked Cadet did something here, so we might have to wait on that. Cloaked Cadet might be better next turn. So I can actually do something with the Sharpshooter. Draw the card. So they're at 11. So they're a land and a permanent. They're just a land away from sacking the Uprising. I can also let the Uprising get sacked because I might just want to get rid of it. Alright, so they can deal 7 to something. It's not the end of the world. They don't have to sack either. It's so nice. So now I don't have a good attack because of the Lightning Wolf, but that's alright. Get the Cadet down for now. So, I mean, the nice thing about the Brambleworm, even though Toxic Scorpion can technically kill it, we have the means to get it back with Butler, too. And we can draw cards off Cadet. So, this is okay. I'm gonna actually ditch this land here. Guess we gain a life, that's nice. So I can attack with the Sharpshooter and the Brambleworm. What they can do is block with Lightning Wolf and one of their 1/1s though, which isn't great for us. But we do get a card draw off Cadet. My other option is to, but then they can block with a bunch of tokens too. I think the best move is just Brambleworm and Sharpshooter. We're going to end up losing our Sharpshooter to a 1/1, but we do get to draw a card, which I think is valuable here. We have the Butler to ideally eventually get Brambleworm back. And for now, I think drawing cards is good. Oh, what a draw. Wow. Because now if they block with Lightning Wolf, they get punished. Well, that's kind of good for us. I mean, a Sharpshooter is going to live. I guess another issue is that well, it's not a huge deal, but now we currently can't draw any more cards from Cloaked Cadet, but we can at least just attack with Butler, I guess. They're back down to 12 permanents again. They actually thinking about attacking? I was going to say. I'm going to attack with Butler each turn. All right. They can take one a turn. I'm okay with it. I mean, we're also like a lumber knot away from some pretty good value here. Wish there was a way to look at... Oh, good. I was going to say permanents, but he's up to 14, so... He'd have to have 2 permanents die. It looks like he doesn't want to sack the Stincy Uprising anyway, which kind of makes sense. If they... I mean, we can always exile our Brambleworm if they have some way to target it out of our graveyard. And deck thinning with Evolving Wilds is pretty good right now, so I'm fine with that too. I mean, we do have the ace in the hole, Dreadfeast Demon at some point. Lumberknot's great draw. Now we've got a good beat here. Good beats. Sure. All right, suppose that makes sense. They have 15 permanents, so 5 are going to die. That takes them down to 10. All right. No, they're going to be back up to 11 because of the Celebrant. So they're probably going to be able to activate Stincy Uprising, but once again, I mean, I don't know if I can control that too much. Most likely they're going to kill the Lumberknot. I'm just going to have to be okay with that. I mean, they blow up Lumberknot, we still have 2 lethal creatures, so it doesn't really matter. Crushing Canopy. All right. So... All right, they're going to be able to sack Uprising. Let's see if they do now to kill the Lumberknot. They do. Okay. It's okay. Both of our guys are still lethal. This actually doesn't matter that much. I mean, they did get rid of one of our lethal creatures, but it's not like they can't double block here. They have to block each one, so they're going to lose both their guys, which is great. Oh, or they just are willing to die. I guess I'm alright with that too. Alright. So, Stincy Uprising deck. We don't have any way to interact with that. We didn't get any Crushing Canopies. Our opponent's main decking them. That's how many they have. Lacerate Flesh, Abrade, Flame Blessed Bolt. Good removal on their side. Us having that Hero's Downfall was probably the difference between winning or losing that game because we needed to kill that Child of the Pack. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, the biggest... Not having interaction is gonna cost us games. That's just the way it is. Doesn't matter if you have Dreadfeast Demon if you don't have a way to deal with your opponent's cards that win the game, like Child of the Pack or Dream Shackle Geist, stuff like that, you know? It's hard to survive to your 7-drops when you can't deal with their rares and, you know, rare quality uncommons. I think we gotta mull this. Like, it's nice that we have Hero's Downfall, but that's just, that hand's too much of a liability. Here, I think I'm gonna ditch probably the Guest. I actually really like Guest, but at least Wolf and Sharpshooter do something together, conjunction with each other, so that's nice. All right, well, we can attack and play the Sporeback Wolf, so that's good. Honeymoon Hearse. I would have attacked with Snarling Wolf first if I were them, but no big deal. That's a good one. So they can attack for 5 now. Or block with 5, huh? Okay. Guess that works too. Well, Ripsaw's a good draw because... I mean, I can trade my 1-drop and a Massive Might for their Hearse, but I think we'll just play the Ripsaw so they don't flip their Child of the Pack yet. And then pass. I suppose we probably want to equip Sporeback Wolf, because it turns into a 5/7 attacker on our turn, which is pretty good. They're going to be able to flip their Child, though, which is pretty good. Sure. So they don't want to flip their Child yet, which is okay. Good timely land there. So I think we do the Cadet because I don't want their Child to flip. And we can get some card draw still going here with Cloaked Cadet, so I like that. We'll pass. Alright, so they're ready to flip Child of the Pack now, which is pretty sensible, I would say. Oh, and we can play 2 spells. It's pretty slick. I think we'll just equip here and attack with the wolf for now. I can attack with the sharpshooter too, but oh, it's not bad actually. We get to draw a card and I still get to do the witch's web. Okay, maybe it is worth it. Definitely not sacking a land. We get to draw the card, which makes this more appealing. I think most likely, given that we could have a combat trick, their best blocks are probably activating the Honeymoon Hearse and maybe blocking with like Lightning Wolf and Honeymoon Hearse, in which case we probably kill the Lightning Wolf because Honeymoon Hearse has like a requirement. But getting to draw the card here is pretty nice. Okay, I'll take a land. Wait, we're not at blockers yet? I mean, we have 2 7-drops in the deck, so land here is okay. We'll see how they block. I think they maybe forgot to activate their hearse. Oh, well, I could potentially kill all 3 of these. They have 10 they can block with, so maybe it's better to use the Massive Might here. Because the Witch's Web kind of, I mean, it doesn't save it either way. But at least with Massive Might, I kill all 3, and then I get a bigger boost later. That's probably smarter. So I mean, also, did I not have to do that? I would have just killed that and a token. I think killing the Snarling Wolf was good. So now we can equip the Cloaked Cadet. Attack with all 3 creatures. But then I can't pump the wolf plus use Witch's Web. I guess 3, 5. If I draw a land, I can. So that's good. Gives us some benefit to having a land. Ooh, not quite the land I was looking for. That's all right. We'll equip the Cadet. We still get to draw a card here. Don't want to sack a land. So they can activate the hearse. So we don't really get a 2-for-1 here. I mean, I could just trade the boar for the thing, but I guess we'll get rid of the hearse too. I have to use the witch's web, but I mean, I could also just kill the pig, because it's going to die either way, right? They have 10 damage on it. So maybe I just kill the pig, because then it's harder for them to activate Honeymoon Hearse. And then who knows, maybe they attack and I can use the witch's web then. Okay. I'm going to go for better use of the witch's web later. And just accept this happening. Guess we'll play the untap land so we can buff Snarling Wolf if I need to. Alright, so I can equip the wolf, pump, and still use web. And draw off cadet. And it'll be a 3/5. I'm okay with this. I need to draw more cards, so say we go for it. Maybe I should have given trample there. We'll see. Maybe I wanted to play land in case I draw Hero's Downfall too. But I wouldn't be able to pump the wolf and do Witch's Web and do Hero's Downfall, so it's probably true. A lot of lands. All right, let's see how they block. I mean, also if they don't block Snarling Wolf, they just die. So this could work out really well for us. Yeah, I guess we pump here so we get the hearse. And then we save the cadet. Might as well. I mean, I can afford to sack lands at this point, so I'm okay with it. All right, got the concession. We'll see you in round 3. Alright, round 3. We'll play first. That's a good hand. Butler into Sharpshooter. Buy as much time as we can. Name of the game when you have Dreadfeast Demon. Buy that time. Which we've played exactly 0 times so far this draft. I think I've had Dreadfeast Demon. This is the 3rd time I've had Dreadfeast Demon. And the first time I drafted it, I ended up winning the draft without ever playing it. And the second time I drafted it, no, maybe I've drafted it 4 times. No, I think this is the 3rd. And then the second time I drafted it twice and won 2 matches solely because of it. I guess we can keep attacking. And if they just want to take it, we'll play Wolf and Butler. And then we've at least got the Wolf to block the Harvester, or we can double block the Celebrant. Either one's okay with me. Hey, 2 creatures is good too, so that's nice. Scavenger's a good one. Still have a creature left though, that's good. They're going to take the Spore Crawler, and we'll still be left with a Gluttonous Guest, which is good. That is not what I was expecting. I definitely would have taken the Spore Crawler, but they don't seem to care. Not a care in the world. So I think we just bide our time. I mean, I can Hero's Downfall Scavenger so I can keep the attacks up, but I say we go for the Dreadfeast Demon plan. That's what I say. If they attack with the Scavenger, I can block with a Wolf and a Butler and get back my Crawler. Ooh, really happy to see that Bleed Drag get used there. So, I think we'll kill the Scavenger now. It's going to flip their Farmer, but we still have the Sharpshooter, so it's pretty irrelevant. So now, if we draw that land, yeah, they're going to really regret using that Bleed Dry. It probably gets a concession here, because we just sack a Wolf, and it's basically GG's. Because Dreadfeast Demon is a stupid card. It was poorly designed. They had the out, too. That's the crazy thing. If they had left the mana open, I don't know if I would have played into the Bleed Dry. It's one of the few ways to deal with Dreadfeast Demon. Immediately upon playing it, you need the instant speed way to deal with it. But with 2 of them, it's like, what do you do? I guess that's a good way to kind of deal with it. Especially if they have the exploit. That's kind of cool, actually. Because they're going to get their own Dreadfeast Demon now. And they're going to get the chain going, too. It's kind of legit. They don't have trample, right? I don't think so. So they can kill one with their harvester. So, I mean, they can certainly crawl right back into this. All they have to do is kill one with Harvester, kill a second one with a removal spell, and then we basically are left in a position where we have to, like, trade out here, you know? All right. Well, looks like they didn't have it. I'm surprised they didn't kill one, though. I guess if you don't have anything, it doesn't matter. So they... Bloody Betrayal. It's the first time I've seen it with Dreadfeast Demon, but it's pretty good. I mean, the only problem is you're a turn behind on that generating demon engine, but, you know, you don't always have a boatload of other creatures to sacrifice. We just happen to have some. So they look like another aggro deck. Yeah, they look very aggro. What did I cut last time? Oh, yeah, we can get off Ripsaw. That's fine. And I guess we can do Recluse again. I really don't love Recluse in general or here, but it's okay. It's going to have to be good enough. Keeps a Harvester back, I guess, on turn 2. All right. Occasionally you can flip it if you get the blood token. It's just we don't have much blood token generation in here. I just think Ripsaw is probably too slow. All right. I mean, we have the Demon's not the best one to open with in your hand against an aggro deck, but I think there's probably... That's actually really weird that my opponent wants to go second with an aggro deck. That's very unexpected and not very common. Oh, that's a good draw. Yeah, now we're... This is actually the first time we've gotten to curve out like this. The Wolf Guest into Lumberknot is just really synergistically good beats here. So yeah, they could have the bleed dry, but that's all right. I mean, they have the 4 mana up, 4 cards in hand. They kind of need it here, I would say. It's not even that huge of a deal if they do kill it. We still have Spore Crawler follow-up, which is pretty good. It looks like they're probably gonna kill the Lumberknot, so I'll do the Massive Might to take out the Wolf. And then I'll play, I think, Sharpshooter versus Spore Crawler. I don't know. It's probably... the thing is, the sharpshooter gets bigger. Which kind of makes me like it a little bit more. Spore Crawler represents more damage, though. I guess we'll do that one. Ballista Watcher's a good one. So, we want to play a spell here. And we want to play land because we gotta build towards this Dreadfeast Demon. So they can flip their Watcher. We don't really have that much they can kill though, which is nice because the Wolf's at least a 2/4 on our turn. So that's cool. I guess we still play the Forest. Technically we need another black mana for the Dreadfeast Demon, but I guess we chill for now. They can deal 2 damage. No, they can kill our Spore Crawler, but then we draw a card. I guess I'm alright with that. They probably kill the Spore Crawler, is my guess. And then we'll draw a card. Hopefully get Dreadfeast Demon online. And they don't have Bleed Dry. If they have Bleed Dry, then they get us pretty good. Yeah. 2 cards in hand. They already used Hero's Downfall. The question is, do I have the luxury of waiting? I mean, they're ahead on the board, so I really don't. I guess we go for it. Alright, they had what they needed. It's unfortunate, but like I said, they're ahead on the board, so I can't do anything. I can let them take out my creatures and wait until they tap out, like they would have done that turn, I guess. But honestly, I don't really like it. Actually, can I cancel that? What happens if I cancel? Okay, let's deck thin first. This is not hugely relevant, but possibly relevant enough. I don't really want to play a Sporeback Wolf because then it just gets killed by a Ballista Wielder. There's a chance they would have used Ballista Wielder on their turn to kill the Sporeback Wolf, so maybe waiting the turn was right. But they also knew we had the Thinger, so them knowing we have the Thinger makes it a little bit worse too. Thinger being Dreadfeast Demon. This doesn't really work out for us because then they just block and then kill it, finish it off with the Wielder. So I guess we just pass. I think we're just going to lose against Ballista Wielder because unless I draw Hero's Downfall. Actually, it's not even true. We also have Lumberknot. We have good draws. We just need to draw not lands, basically. Essentially, we need them not to have Bleed Dry, and either them not have Bleed Dry or us draw something other than lands. If both of those things are not true, then we're definitely losing. Alright, I guess you do the Sporeback Wolf. I don't know if we... I think we literally do not have any more blood token generation here. Which is not good. Really not good. So we save the Recluse for now. Because otherwise it just gets pinged off. I mean, our guest is getting pinged off too, so it probably doesn't matter. But maybe a way to flip the wielder back is good. For Xaxes too, huh? Nice one. All right. Go to game 3 here. So, like I said, I either hope they didn't have the bleed dry, which they did, or I hope they tap out on their turn, which is possible. Which is possible. So, I went for the former. Of course, that's one of those situations, especially when you're recording videos, where everyone goes, "You didn't know that? Of course they have it. How could they not have it? I mean, how is it possible that they wouldn't have it?" It's not possible. They 100% have it. Of course. I know exactly what's in your opponent's hands. What are you, stupid? You don't know what's in your opponent's hands? That's one of those situations, which is frustrating. Because you do get the commenters that are like, dude, 100% obvious they had Bleed Dry in their hand. How could they not? How is it possible that they had any other 2 cards in their deck in their hand? Stupid. Gosh, I wish we had more ways to deal with Ballista Wielder. I wish we had more ways to interact with my opponent's creatures. That's what I wish. This is what we got. Like I said, our deck is exactly what it is. No more, no less. I don't like this hand. But I could see keeping it because we're kind of a black mana away from going off with Recluse. And we're at least a green mana away from Spore Crawler. I think it's worth the risk. This hand could be very punishing. But it's right on that threshold. And Evolving Wilds actually makes this hand so we have 9 sources of black as well. So we do have increased odds of drawing black mana, which is good. We have to exile too. I guess we'll get rid of this and get rid of probably the Recluse, I guess. So I can't actually put counters on the Cloak Cadet, which is kind of funny. With training, because the Lumber not only has one power, it's based on your power. Oh, I see. All right. Got there by the skin of our teeth. Ended up going 2-1. Not bad for a deck that barely had any removal or interaction, but Dreadfeast Demon, what can you say? It's all about that Dreadfeast Demon, huh? All right. Let's see some pack one, pick ones. All right, pack one, pick one. I'd probably go with the removal. I guess the Retribution, it's pretty good. Lumberknot's possibly worth just taking because it's such a beating and you can build around it. Lumberknot might be worth building around, honestly. I mean, we saw what it can do sometimes, so I guess I'd be okay first picking a Lumberknot, even though it's a gold card, just because the upside is very substantial. All right, pack one, pick one here. I'd probably go Weaver. I love the upside of Weaver. 3/4 body when it flips is good. Double ramp is good. Fixes on the front side or back. I mean, great card. Pack one, pick one. I would probably go... This would be a bad pack one, pick one. Probably Point of Discussion. Get the card draw on the blood token. That seems like the best one. The card has proven itself to be pretty good. And then pack one, pick one here. Rejection versus Scavenger. They're both pretty good. I guess I'd go Rejection. Interaction, occasionally good against, even better against Wolves and Werewolves, and then you always get to draw a card off of it. I like it. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.